Over the last few years, creatures that belong thousands of meters underwater are suddenly washing up on shores and swimming near the surface. Animals like the terrifying black sea devil or this massive, snake-like deep-sea oarfish. According to centuries-old Japanese folklore, pulling an oarfish from the deep ocean is a bad omen. The myth says their appearance is a direct warning that a disastrous earthquake is about to strike. This belief carries heavy cultural weight. Right before the 2011 earthquake and tsunami leveled coastal towns across Japan, around 20 dead oarfish washed up on the local shores. Scientists have mostly debunked the earthquake connection, but that leaves a much more alarming reality. From California to Mexico, the sudden worldwide surge of deep-sea life appearing at the surface is a real, measurable scientific anomaly. To understand why this is happening, look at how little we actually know about their home. We have mapped out the surface of Mars, and human beings have spent hundreds of hours walking on the moon. Yet, we have explored a mere 5% of our own ocean floor. To figure out why these ancient Leviathans are fleeing upward, we have to travel down into the hostile, pitch-black world they are desperately trying to escape. The warm blue water at the beach is the topmost layer, the sunlight zone. But drop past 200 meters, and that familiar ocean disappears. Water absorbs longer wavelengths first. As we drop into the twilight zone, red wavelengths fade completely. Because red light cannot reach here, the bloody belly comb jelly uses its bright red coloration as a biological invisibility cloak, blending into the darkness. With sunlight gone, many predators manufacture their own light. Through bioluminescence, they mix two chemicals, luciferin and luciferase, to trigger a reaction that emits a haunting glow to lure in their prey. Others rely on radical evolutionary engineering. The barrel-eye fish has a transparent head with internal, bright green eyes that rotate 360 degrees, scanning the pitch-black water above. Survival in the twilight zone requires total mastery over the physics of light, either by hiding from it or manufacturing it. Plunge past 1,000 meters into absolute darkness. Food and mates are incredibly scarce here. When a tiny male black sea devil finds a massive female, he physically bites into her, fusing with her body, surviving only as an attached reproductive organ. Near the scalding heat of hydrothermal vents, the blind yeti crab actually farms thick colonies of sulfide-oxidizing bacteria on its own hairy arms, just to guarantee a food source. To put this depth into perspective, this freezing region of the abyssal zone is where the Titanic rests, nearly 4,000 meters below the waves. This cross-section shows the diel vertical migration. Every night, billions of deep-sea creatures form a dense layer, commuting thousands of meters to the surface to feed. At sunrise, they rapidly retreat back down to avoid daytime predators. This daily rhythm turns the deep ocean into a delicately balanced highway system, one that connects the lightless abyss directly to the surface. But over the past few decades, this perfectly balanced commute has started to permanently break down. Our oceans absorb most global warming heat. This warm surface water expands, forming a thick barrier that presses down on the cold water below. Acting as a physical wall, it prevents atmospheric oxygen from mixing into the deep, cold layers, starving the lower zones. Deep-sea creatures aren't surfacing voluntarily. The dropping oxygen levels mean they are literally suffocating in their own habitat, forcing massive swarms to swim upward in a desperate search for breathable water. By fleeing toward the surface, these hyper-adapted animals face an impossible choice. They expose themselves to lethal surface temperatures and the exact daytime predators they spent millions of years evolving to avoid. A warming climate has turned their evolutionary haven into a suffocating death trap, triggering a fatal one-way evacuation. And before we even fully understand the scale of this ecological collapse, human industry is moving in to accelerate it with a new threat: deep-sea mining. Down at the hydrothermal vents, creatures like the scaly-foot snail, an ancient survivor that grows iron plates on its legs, are having their habitats targeted by corporations eager to dredge the seafloor for gold and silver. While the science points toward a collapsing ecosystem, the drive for these resources continues. when political leaders dismiss climate data, they create the necessary cover to prioritize lucrative mining contracts over the survival of these deep-sea habitats. We see this across the globe. In India, the government is moving forward with plans to permit deep-sea mining near Kerala, favoring resource extraction even as local communities and environmental experts protest the risk to their waters. Tearing up the seafloor is a point of no return. These deep, untouched zones act as massive carbon sinks, securely storing CO2 and regulating the atmosphere for the entire planet. We are on the verge of annihilating an ancient, alien world purely to satisfy short-term industrial greed. If we don't stop it, we will drive entire species to extinction before we even learn their names.